Kofi Bentil is joining us on Zoom right now. He's the Vice President of Imani Africa. And Dennis, stay with me because there's some very important timelines to this case that we'll have to run through. And then also, Kofi Bentil is a private legal practitioner for the purposes of this conversation. Mr. Bentil, thank you for joining us. You have been consistent in your position that if the OSP is, quote unquote, in your words, serious about prosecuting this case or getting Ken ofori-Atta to answer for the said charges against him, you would rather recommend the OSP takes the option of trial in absentia. That if Ken ofori-Atta is not coming, then the process should begin. The OSP has reiterated that that is not a path they are going to take, Mr. Bentil, even in the midst of all this, with the Deputy Attorney General stating this frustration.
Well, if you're asking, so I hear you say the OSP says they will not consider a trial in absentia.
Yes.
And I hear you ask if that is the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
My answer is simple. And indeed, I have said this long ago, many months ago. Unfortunately, I was vilified for it. The OSP is not a law unto himself. All right? And they should appreciate that they are creatures of law. They have to ask reasons, whether you agree or not, is not able to be here. And there is sufficient provision within the law for you to proceed in the absence of the person. Months now, in fact, almost a year now since the government took office, we keep hearing things about this particular case. And I have sat down to say, I don't see the sincerity of the OSP in trying to pursue this thing. There's a difference between persecution and prosecution. There's a difference between trying to find if somebody is guilty or not under law and trying to put them before the public, disgrace them, and have a... And sometimes I feel like the OSP wants this public spectacle of Ken ofori-Atta arriving, he being arrested and questioned, and the hullabaloo that goes back and forth with it, maybe hoping that people come and sit at Yoko or something. I mean, that kind of theatrics is not what we should be looking for. And when I made the point earlier, my point was that there is no impediment in the way of the OSP to try Ken ofori-Atta if he has a case. So the question is, does he have a case or not? And if he has a case, he should just prosecute. And prosecute in absentia. In any case, Ken ofori-Atta's lawyers are here. They are speaking to the OSP. They are prepared to cooperate with the OSP. They are prepared to be in court to defend Ken ofori-Atta. The only thing that the OSP doesn't seem to have, which he's absolutely bent on, is the presence of Ken ofori-Atta. And it must be noted that the presence of Ken ofori-Atta is not necessary for his prosecution. In fact, he can be present and refuse to talk. So I don't get the point of what the OSP is trying to do. And that is why I raised the point that I raised earlier. I said that if I was lawyer of Ken ofori-Atta, or let me put it this way, anybody who is lawyer of Ken ofori-Atta, if he is a good lawyer, will not advise Ken ofori-Atta to come to Ghana. Because the OSP clearly does not look like they are serious in a proper prosecution. Because they can go ahead. It looks like they want Ken ofori-Atta to just come to Ghana for them to just make a show of him for whatever reason. And you must appreciate that the man says he is sick. So sick that he's undergoing all kinds of surgeries and medical observation. So why do you want to do that? There's a process. Use it. They don't have a right to say they will not proceed in absentia simply because Ken ofori-Atta refuses to come. By law, if a crime has been committed and they have a case under this circumstance, they have I agree with the frustration of the Attorney General. Thinking about the OSP law, we thought we were going to end up the Attorney General still reserves the ultimate right of prosecution. He has handed such to the OSP. In this particular matter, I think he can take certain steps to assert himself because essentially, even though the OSP is independent, the Attorney General is the one that extends their authority to the OSP. They should be able to sort this out, behind, closed doors. But I totally disagree with the OSP on this matter.
See, and you've been consistent on this, and the fact that if they're serious, as you have just indicated, a trial in absentia is one that they should immediately be looking at in the midst of all what's happening. And Dennis, we are on the Interpol's side now. Ken ofori-Atta is still there, right? As on the red notice.
Yes, so this
correct?
is live reach. When you look at it closely, you find Ofori-Atta, Kenneth Nanayao, 65 years old, Ghana, and this is a live page.
There have been a few others who have been added over the period.
Yeah.
Because previously, when you go on this red notice page, it was just kind of Ofori-Atta. Now you have.
He used to be on the first page, but now he's on the 5th or 6th page. So, a lot more have been added. So you hear the Deputy Attorney General say that, putting somebody on the Interpol red notice in itself does not mean much, except they're able to carry through the extradition processes, which they are looking for to having the docket from the Office of the Attorney General, from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, so that they can go on with that particular process.